Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to another great and grand episode of the Gridiron Glory podcast here with Tad and Will. We are here in week 10 of the NFL season, recapping the week 10 action, transitioning now from week 10 to week 11. So we're going to start diving into playoff scenarios, playoff pictures, give you guys a overall grand picture of things, what's going on, as we do cover all 32 teams all season long. Tad, was battling a sore throat last week, and he's recovered from that, and we're ready to go rock and roll this week. So, yeah, the NFC playoffs. What we're kind of looking at right now is, you got the Lions. They are the current 1 seed. They would have the first round bye in the NFC playoffs. With the 8-1 record, first place in the NFC North as well. Then you got at the second seed would be the Philadelphia Eagles, 7-2, first place in the NFC East. Third place would be the 6-4 Falcons, who have been a real surprise. Well, not necessarily surprise, but you had a lot of head scratchers as to whether or not Kirk Cousins could come in here and fit in with a Raheem Morris system. But Kirk Cousins has fit in very well there with guys like Bijan Robinson and Drake London. So the Falcons, a pretty hyped team there in the NFC South. And then the Arizona Cardinals, the 4th seed in the 6-4 record. They're first place in the NFC West. And I mean, yeah, as a franchise, just like overall historically, I mean, they've had several seasons where they're under the radar, but then, from time to time, they can pop up above the radar and be sneakily good sometimes as a franchise. So here they are, the 4th seed with the 6-4 record. And then you got the 5 seed. You got the wild cards now. Tad, your Vikes 7-2 at 5. The Commanders 7-3 at 6. And then that other team that you just love to hate so much, the Green Bay Packers 6-3, third place in the NFC North. Easy to say that the best division in the NFC is the North Division. The strongest division is the North Division this year. So the Lions, I mean, yeah, easy enough that the Lions are definitely the best team right now in the NFC. The Eagles, it's like they kind of have they've done what they needed to do in most games, but it's just like with the Eagles, I'll believe it when I see it there, when they get there. And then, yeah, it's had, but yeah, your Vikings. And then, I mean, honestly, of the top 7 teams right now, to me, truly, would probably be the 7-3 Washington Commanders. Here they are. And then from that, I'll let you give your takes on the NFC playoff picture.
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing you see with the NFC playoff picture is one of the teams we haven't mentioned yet, and that's because they're outside of the playoffs as we speak. The defending NFC champions, the 49ers, yes, with a 5-4 record. They are currently a game out of the 7th seed, and they are a half game behind Arizona in their division. And they do have the loss to Arizona on their record also. So right now the tiebreaker would swing towards Arizona anyways. But with that being said, San Francisco is a team that we could see move up if they continue to play well. So, and they did just get their best player on offense back in McCaffrey. So they're a team you could see move up. But yeah, just a lot of competitiveness. We're going to have a lot of big games going forward. The matchup this week between Philadelphia and Washington will obviously be a big one, with the winner taking the division lead outright. So a lot of big games moving forward. Obviously Detroit is playing exceptional football. They have a winning streak going, and they're just playing about as good as anyone in the league. 6-1 in the NFC, 8-1 overall. already have big division wins against both the Minnesota Vikings and Green Bay Packers. So already two big wins on the road there.
And I just want to go ahead and first and foremost say, Wall very talented, Wall very built. Sorry to interject really quick, but Wall very talented, Wall very built, Wall very rare, well-rounded Detroit Lions. Let's not forget that this all starts with Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit's just an example of a team that they've built their team very well from the bottom up. Like their front office has done a phenomenal job. Their coaching staff has done a phenomenal job. They draft well. They build good culture. They do things the right way. They play very physical. Sometimes they toe the line of do they take it a bit too far sometimes. I mean, there's been some questionable plays, but when you play Detroit, you know you're going to get a physical game, and that makes it a challenge anytime you go up against a team like Detroit. So they've definitely earned their respect, and I mean, now basically all they have left to show is can they do it consistently in the playoffs. They had the playoff win last year, the two playoff wins, and it looked like they were going for a third when they played the 49ers, but then we all know what happened in the second half there. But with Detroit, can they put it together in the playoffs? I think that's the big question.
Now, Tad, you got teams from the outside, looking in, as you mentioned, currently. So, some odds right now, given the fact, the Buccaneers with their 4-6 record still have a 38% chance to make the playoffs. You got teams like the Bears, 2%, 49ers, still a 57% chance to make the playoffs. Via NFL.com here. So, Tad, with some of these teams that are on the outside looking in, the 49ers are probably, I don't know, man. You definitely got some teams that are going to need to make some pushes here late in the season. The Seahawks even perhaps.
Yeah, I could definitely see San Francisco moving into the playoffs. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm sure that wouldn't surprise anyone. I still think they're the best team in the NFC West. I still think they'll win the division. No disrespect to Arizona, they put forth a great effort so far this season, but the question is just can they hold it off San Francisco for the division? I don't think they can, but we'll see. And yeah, a lot of questions with Tampa Bay as well. Can they get back into the hunt? I think that's a team that's interesting to look at. They'll get Mike Evans back after the bye week, hopefully for them. So that's a team that could potentially make a run at a wild card, maybe even try to make a run at Atlanta for the division. But there's some things that we're seeing. And of the top 7 teams in the playoffs right now, which team do you think is most in danger of falling out of the playoffs in the second half of the season?
It's tough to say, but I would probably have to go with the Cardinals. Just because you got the 49ers and you got the Seahawks, they could very well potential, and even the Rams, Tad. Even the Rams. Let's not forget about them. Like
the Rams, they're getting healthier.
The NFC West, sir, is far from over.
For sure.
So, of the 4 teams in the NFC West, probably, I'll believe it when I see it with Arizona, even with everything that they've shown me.
I mean, like I said, Arizona, they've had a great start to the season. They have that great head-to-head win with the 49ers, but, I just want to see it more throughout the season. The Rams, like you said, they're getting healthier. They got the receivers back. They got their offensive line getting healthy. Their linebackers are getting healthy. I think they have a chance to battle. Also, another team that I just want to see how they handle the second half of the season, the Washington Commanders. We just haven't seen them throughout an entire season. They have some solid wins, but generally when they play the better teams, we've seen them struggle a bit. So I'm interested to see if Washington's a team that's going to stay in the playoffs.
It's going to be very interesting, but we'll talk about it all throughout the season, the playoff picture. So yeah, there you have it, the NFC playoff picture here on the Gridiron Glory. Tad, very safe to say the 4 teams that are out: Cowboys, Saints, Panthers, Giants.
Yeah, especially with the Dak Prescott season-ending surgery, I just don't see any chance that the Cowboys get back. Yeah, and obviously with the other 3 teams, they're just not built enough.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, rebuilding teams in the Saints, Panthers, and Giants for sure. Rebuilding NFC franchises. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, there you have it, the NFC playoff picture on the Gridiron Glory podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow.